Well, today's Veterans Day, and I sat and watched the race last night because I'm a NASCAR fan, and as that young black gentleman on there said, it's a Medal of Honor winner. They support and understand Veterans Day better than anybody in any other sport in America knows. It's not about mom apple pie. It's not about car dealers. It's not about sales at the local store. It's not about cookouts out back. It's about them men died, and women too, that died to make America what it is. This country was founded on blood, bullets, and guns is what it was founded on. Not politics, not food, not politicians and welfare and all that stuff. It was founded on blood, bullets, and guns. This is a day to remember that. As a Marine that watched men die, had friends die, I know what it's like to stand there and stand over a dead body of someone that you cared about and you knew. And you know that he gave because he gave for the country that he loved so much so his family and the people he loved and cared about could have a life and get by. None of us sacrificed anything, and none of them died so that a welfare mom in Chicago could have 19 kids and live off the system, while a veteran is dying for lack of an operation that anybody could have if they could walk into a hospital with insurance. And I don't want to even get on the insurance thing again because Obamacare is a freaking joke. This is Veterans Day. This is time to not worry about, I got a day off, I can go out back and cook on the grill. Why don't you go down to the Veterans Center and take a steak to somebody that's down there laying in a bed that's dying because of what he did for this country. Instead of taking your kids to some amusement park and getting on rides and riding around all the rides because it's a big day the amusement parks are open, take your kids to a VA center, take them to a veterans hospital. Let them see what made this holiday what it is and what made this country what it is. You people try so hard to say, it's my right. It's our rights. It's only our rights because of the men and women that want to give their lives up to keep them rights for you. Jeez, you watch every day in the news, you see that kid that shot everybody out in California out there, stabbed 3 people, shot 6, killed himself. He had no conception of what the system is. And you can't blame that on nobody but his parents and the system that he grew up in. You know, you look in this country, military people have sons and daughters that go in the military, grandsons and granddaughters that go in the military, because it is put into their system. And these are the people that found the country. I was never so proud to see that man in NASCAR last night, that black man, Medal of Honor winner, Purple Heart winner, lost both his legs, and he stands up there to say, start your engines, and he's a black man. That made it even better, because he understands you got to be an American. Not black, not white, not pink, yellow, green, but an American. I mean, get on, people. This day irks me more than anyone else holiday in the country, because this is not a holiday. This is supposed to be a day of remembrance, a Memorial Day, like it says. Yes, we'll have a cookout today, but everybody around me knows. They'll hear about my war stuff. They'll hear about them great men that didn't come back, because that's what the day's about. Everybody that lives in my neighborhood talks to me, comes in my store, talks to me. They know it's military. They know that's an important part of my life. Been out for, 24 years? 23 years? But it's still an everyday part of my life. I watch the Memorial Day things on television and taps start to play and I automatically salute. That's America. That's a man that knows what to do. It makes no difference whether you're in the right place or the proper place, or if you're standing in public, you hear taps, you see that flag come up, you salute, you put your hand over your heart, and you don't give a damn what other people think. Because it's those soldiers that died that gave them the right to not want to do that, which is kind of ironic. They want to take your right away to pledge allegiance to the flag. And it's the people that died that gave them the right to say if they want to take it away. They just don't even see that. You know, that pledge should be said by everybody. I don't give a flying fuck whether you were born here, whether you moved here, migrated here, anything else. If you're going to go to our system, our schools, our colleges, our sporting event stuff, you should have to say that pledge. Because that flag is important. It's not a piece of cloth with color on it. You know, yeah, I've the old saying, apple pie, Chevrolet, and, you know, all that stuff. That flag means more to me than anything. You spit on that flag on me, I'll take you out faster than if you hurt one of my kids. And believe me, you hurt one of my kids, I'm going to take you out so fast you ain't going to know it happened until after you're standing in front of St. Peter. That flag is important. Yes, you have a right to burn that flag. And if you really do some checking into it, old tattered flags are supposed to be burned. It's a sign of respect. An old tattered, worn out flag is not supposed to fly. And that flag's never supposed to hit the ground. Never, ever. This is one old Marine that would have planted it in his chest rather than keep it hit the ground. You know, we got to get back to thinking about each other. And this is a day to do it. This is the day in the country for thinking about those that gave and those that are trying to give. Just stop and think when you're outside today and you're cooking on your grill and you see your kids and your grandkids, your great-grandkids running around and you're playing them games and you're tossing that beanbag or throwing that ball around, that there's some little boy somewhere in this country or some little girl somewhere in this country whose dad's in Afghanistan or Iraq right now being shot at that doesn't have that ability to do that. That little boy is outside watching everybody playing with their dad and he's sitting there crying for his. But his dad is doing the right thing. And I tell you, in this town, everybody knows. You don't dishonor one of them guys coming back in front of me. It don't happen. You say something negative about one of them, I'll drop you. And I'm an old cripple. You can see it. I had surgery just the other day in my neck. You hurt one of you, mess with one of them veterans, I'll drop you in a heartbeat. Them young boys are just so, you got to be so proud of them, it's ridiculous. I would hug each one of them and give anything I had to each one of them, just like I gave to my son. And my son served in the Air Force for 8 years. Just like I served in the Marine Corps. It's just so hard for you people to get through your thick skull that this is not a country of me. It's a country of us. It's a republic. It's not a democracy. It's not, a dictatorship, despite what Obama thinks. It is a republic. A republic means we have representatives elected by us to do what we tell them to do. We don't elect people to do what they want. In a democracy, you elect people, they have control. That's why this is not a democracy. That's why the Founding Fathers specifically went for a republic and not a democracy. In a democracy, the majority rules. In a republic, the majority put people in power. Then people in power set the rules that we live by. And if we choose to not like their rules, we can take them out of power to put somebody else in. The only laws that our Founding Fathers in this country was founded on was the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Those were the unalienable, unchangeable founding rights of this country. The other laws about, concealed carry guns, carrying guns here, driver's license, car insurance, licensing your car, having to pay your taxes, none of that's in the Constitution. Those are not laws. Those are man's laws instituted by government and state. The founding laws of the Constitution and Bill of Rights are what our Founding Fathers said we all have a right to. And like I said, today's the day to remember all that. You got 4th of July coming up. You got other holidays, Labor Day, everything else. This is the one. This one and 4th of July are the ones that this country should be the most proud of. The 4th of July is the day that we stood up and told a dictator in England that we are no longer going to be part of his world. We are going to govern ourselves. We are going to set laws for ourselves. We are going to help those who choose to help and get ahead, and we are going to forget those that don't. That's a big thing about it. Read some of the Founding Fathers' papers. Ben Franklin, John Adams. Those people that wanted to get ahead, people that needed help with their farms, needed help starting a business, they were all for them. But them people that just wanted free handouts, they wanted to let them go to the wayside. I believe it's time to let the freeloaders just go. Because we started a system in this country, welfare, and keep in mind that came from a liberal Roosevelt too. And now 60% of the country's on it, and that's a fact. You can go to the Library of Congress and look it up on the journals of the welfare and the general ledger for the United States billing. Over 60% of people in the United States now are on welfare, food stamps, some sort of system like that. And today is a day that just makes me so mad. I know of 4 people that were ex-military guys, spent over 20 years in the military, that are trying to live off of just Social Security and what little bit of retirement they got. Their Social Security is getting cut, and believe me, it's getting cut 25%. They just made that official yesterday. All of you people, Social Security is going to be cut 25% in the next year to year and a half because of Obamacare. His veteran benefits are cut, so he's waiting at the hospital. He's in pain. He can't get his medicine. He can't get in to see a doctor. But yet, a woman in town here with 5 kids, 25 years old, 5 kids, never been married, pregnant again, She can go to the doctor anytime she wants. She gets food stamps. She gets all of her drugs. She gets everything else handed to her. And she's done nothing but lay on her back and produce kids. Didn't graduate high school. Doesn't have a job. A veteran to work 40 years. Spent 23 years in the military, 24. Worked another 23 years in a plant. Now, welfare, his Social Security gets cut, his VA gets cut, his retirement went to hell in a handbasket, again, because liberals screwed all the 401k pension plans on certain businesses, and they know they did it. There ain't no bullshitting around with all you people that buy into the liberal media bullshit. It happened. But just think about that. A mid-20-year-old woman with a bunch of kids that's never worked a day, never graduated high school, has everything she needs to get by. They pay her rent, they pay her food, they pay her electric bills. And a 69-year-old veteran that spent 20 years in the military, 20 years working, paying into the system and stuff, can't get his medicine, can't get his medical treatment, can't do nothing else on Veterans Day. He and his family are sitting around their house today. They're going to have a small cookout with the hamburgers and hot dogs. But by God, I went down by the house of the 20-year-old woman with all the kids. There's 14 people in her backyard already. They got 3 grills going, cooking everything else. And you know what's really funny? Lives in a trailer park where it's all welfare and low income. And we know that. That's how you have to be in there. I seen 3 Camaros, 2 Firebirds, a Cadillac, 2 SUVs, full-size SUVs. There were 92, I counted, full-size grills, the kind that cost $300-400 at Walmart, Target, and stuff, in this trailer park for these people that live off the system. But yet you go around town here to veterans I've been looking at for the past few days. They're driving 20-year-old cars. Some of their houses need roofs repaired on them. They can barely cut the grass because, believe it or not, kids don't go around offering to cut the grass for $5-10 anymore. That's another problem in America. We don't have kids they want handed out. They don't want paid for doing anything. They don't want to do anything. You know, it just cracks me up. Hardworking people have nothing. And those that have done nothing but take, and never contribute have everything. You know, I stood there in the military, watched people die. Lost a best friend. Got it blown away in front of me in a boat when we thought we were safe. And I sit and think about him every day. All the stuff he did, we were safe, we were away from the mission, we were going to be safe, and he got shot by a sniper going away. What would he think today? That his wife in Texas, his kids are grown now, I think his youngest would be about 20 now, but what would he think if he knew that they didn't go to college because there was no money for them, because of Obama castrating veteran benefits? His 22-year-old daughter, which was only, 7 when he died? Or no, 5 when he died, works at McDonald's. His son that had just been born a week before the mission, he never even got to see his son. The boy now is collecting carts at Walmart. And these are people that if their dad would have been there, they'd have probably went to college, been doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that. But no, their dad chose to give his life to make America a free place. So people with 5 kids can have a new car, a house, a grill, get free money for food, free money for housing, free money for this, a free Obama phone, and everything else, while she sits in her living room watching Oprah on the damn television. One time, I would like to see a mandatory law by some of these governors. Let's take everybody in a town that's on welfare. Take them down and show them a VA center. Make them walk through the VA center. Make them talk to the people. Because if you think about World War II, and I know this isn't taught in school anymore, because it's politically incorrect, because it might hurt somebody's feelings, it might make somebody cry. But after World War II, the United States military made a videotape. They taped all the concentration camps. They went in, they filmed all the dead bodies, all the body parts, all the ovens, all the gas showers, everything else, with all the bodies stacked up. Then after they filmed this, they took the local townspeople from every town where there was a concentration camp at and made them walk through the town. They were not allowed to cover their eyes. Soldiers held their hands to their side. They were not allowed to cover their eyes. They were not allowed to run through. They had to walk through each building, see all them dead bodies, see all them crematoriums, see all them ovens, see all the walls. They actually had bones as fence posts in walls, so Hitler's people did. They made all those townspeople see all of that. Yeah, them townspeople cried and whined and said we didn't know. What's bullshit they didn't know. Just like the people in America that say we don't know what's going on with the system don't know. That's what we need to do. We need to take all these welfare people to a VA center. Take them all to an operation room and let them see what these soldiers do. These, 25-year-old guys coming back with no legs or no arms. And the operations they have to go through and the rehab they have to go through. Why don't we take one of these welfare mothers down there and let her walk and hold the hand of this guy that's learning to use 2 new prosthetic limbs that he has to walk on, or use 2 new prosthetic limbs to eat with. Let her help him do it. That's what we need to do. It's getting, God, sometimes I want a revolution. I really do. I think we need to break the country up. A country I fought for, a country I've got battle wounds for. God knows. This neck part of me is going back years. But we need to, let's let them have their, if the liberals want California and New England, let them have it. But tell them, the rest of the country, we're taking. We're going to have a North America, a South America, an East America, and a West America. Let them have the East and West. We're taking North and South. And they're going to be able to set no rules. New England's not going to tell Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cleveland how to run their steel mills, make their cars. California tree huggers are not going to tell farmers in the Midwest how to grow, what crops to grow. Fishermen in the Southwest what thing would grow, catch. And we're not going to tell them how to run their thing. I guarantee you, if we did this tomorrow, by next Veterans Day, they would be crying that they need a holiday. All their people are dying. They want to be, remembered. It's just, you watch Obama every day on there, and there was a great picture posted yesterday on Facebook. George Bush, 2 Marines, as he's getting out of Air Force One going in the White House. He grabs both their shoulders, thanks both of them, pats them on the shoulder. He did that every time he did it. He acknowledged them guys in the military. Obama, same spot going in and out of the White House. He's got his phone in his hand. They both salute him. He walks out. He ignores them standing there. They're irrelevant to him. They're just part of the furniture. And that's exactly how he looks at it. All the Marines guarding that White House, they're just parts of furniture to him. If you don't like it, change the color of it. That's all there is to it. He don't have no respect. He don't respect nothing. Absolutely nothing. They want to know why. What was it? 3 years ago, they stopped at Fort Bragg and they plot to assassinate Obama by 10 or 12 highly trained special forces people. Some of them out of the military, some of them active. These are the guys that know how to do it. If there hadn't been a slip-up by one of their girlfriends, he'd probably be dead. There have been 3 other military coups to take him out that they've overrun. Stop and think about that. The guys that our government trains to defend this country. And today's a great day to think about it. They train these guys that defend this country, because I was specially trained too. We are taught to kill, how to kill, different ways to kill, how to get in, get out without being seen. These guys that are the best of the military are being arrested for conspiracies to assassinate Obama. Think about that now. Not the crazy guy, John Wilkes Booth that shot Abraham Lincoln. Not the nutcase that shot Reagan because he wanted to get Jodie Foster's attention. Not the nutcase that took a shot at Carter because she was, squeaky from dipshit stuff. These are highly trained people that know how to do it, have the technology, have the weapons to do it, and they see that what Obama's doing is destroying the country that they were willing to give their lives for. And it's got not a damn thing to do with the color of his skin. It's straight up nothing but the fact that he is destroying America. It's like today, he'll probably go around and say a couple things, which I doubt if he will. So you stop and think about it. If you look at Obama's track record since he's been in the White House, all special days for the military, he either ignores them, or he doesn't leave the White House, he makes a speech from inside the White House, or he goes to one of the bases that has got a high level of Secret Service or NSA security there other than military. Because he's afraid of them. He's straight up afraid of them. I watch the news, and it is biased. And despite what everybody thinks, Fox is not biased towards conservatives. Fox is down the middle. The rest of them are biased. I have an interesting thought, and this is interesting on Labor Day too, or Memorial Day, excuse me. That conservative radio, the conservative guys, that every one of them, Sean Rush, Mark Levin, all of them, totally support the troops and what they say and do every day. They're booming. And this week, 3 long-time liberal, progressive radio hosts that went off the air. It's because nobody was listening. They weren't even listening to their own people. I sit here and look at it, that those people that voted for Obama because they wanted to show they're not racist. Well, I feel for them. They made an honest mistake, thought maybe they found the black man that would do the right thing. They seem they're changing their mind. Now, those people that tried to say he didn't have a chance the first time and did it the second time, I hold nothing for you. It was obvious after his first term he was wrong. And by the way, we all know, no matter what's said, Obama didn't win re-election. He won by 1.2%, and there's been proved to be over 18% voter fraud now. So he lost. But there's nothing you can do about it now. The only one that could have done anything about it at the time was Mitt Romney, and he didn't want to rip the country apart. He knew if he did it, we'd have a civil war, which is coming anyway. I mean, you see in the news every day, police departments in cities around the country are getting tanks, armored vehicles, AR-15s, M16s. By the Constitution, the United States military is not allowed to be a law enforcement force inside the United States. You cannot use the military against us in the United States. That's law. And Kent State proved that. That's why they don't do it no more. But, so what he's doing is he's trying to arm police departments. But you know what I found funny? The police departments he's arming are in cities that are known for being liberal. New York's got them. LA's got them. Seattle's got them. Detroit's got them. He's not giving tanks to Dallas. Although Dallas has them, they've gotten them themselves, which is a good thing, because I guess we're going to need them if they've got them. He's not giving tanks to, Phoenix. Sheriff Joe's got one too. He's seen the light. He went and got his own because he knew he could see it coming. He knows it's coming. He knows there's something coming that's going to happen. He knows he can't win, but he's not going to give up. It's like the definition of insanity really fits Obama. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Ever since he started, all liberals, they do the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that it'll turn out different. And what they do is they change the rules a little bit. They tried this stuff under Roosevelt. They got welfare in. But then it went down after the Depression and stuff like that. We went back to being the conservative, God-fearing country we were supposed to be. Then they tried it under Carter. Well, that got shoved in the ass real quick because of economy and everything else. Then they tried it under Clinton, and they got close, but they picked a self-indulgent pervert, and him is what they picked. So when they decided to do it this time, they decided we're going to buy our way in. They bought television stations. They bought radio stations. They bought cable networks. They bought television. The liberals bought in. Between the time Clinton got in and Obama got elected, they made sure they controlled, a good 80% of the media so that they could not vet him and let out the true stuff about him. On Memorial Day, a day that we remember our soldiers to give everything, that have to tell the United States government everything about themselves to get in the military. We have a president that we know nothing about in the White House telling them what to do. That's like, contradiction of terms totally. Every military person, you can find out their college records, where they were born, their birth certificate, everything else, but you can't find that on the president, the guy that's telling them to go out and give their lives up. Think about it. But it's just, Obama doesn't see the light, and today, of all days, is a day I shouldn't even have to worry about the president. The president should be irrelevant today, but yet he isn't. He'll be on the news sometime today saying, we support those and everything else, but yet, like he's saying, he heard about the VA on television like everybody else. Give me a damn break. He's got his court there. I want to call it a court, like kings have courts. supposed to be secretaries of state and so forth, but Obama, it's a court because he thinks he's king. All them, I mean, what VA falls under Veterans Affairs, Military Affairs, even Homeland Security, fact of the matter, because they're military offices. All of them have what's going on there. He knew about it. He absolutely knew about it. He wants the military to fade away. He's destroying the military. He's cut it by, first 4 years he cut it by 40%. And now in just the last year he's cut it by 20%. And he's saying he wants to cut the whole military force across all 6 branches by another 30 to 30% by 2016. He doesn't want a military. My personal point is he's a Muslim, straight up. That's what it's all over. This is over nothing more than the fact that he's a Muslim and he wants to bring that over here, and he knows the military we have is never going to let that happen. But what he doesn't realize, and again, great on Veterans Day, guns. There are more guns in the hands of American people right now than 90% of the countries in the world's military has. He can't get rid of the guns. First of all, he don't know where they're all at. Straw buying's illegal. It sure is, and I support that. But I go over, I buy me 2 guns, I bring them home, I sit on them for a month, I go to the gun range, I shoot one. I just don't like the way that feels. That ain't the gun for me. So I'm going to buy another one, but I don't want to keep that one that I just bought. So I'm going to sell it to the neighbor over here that, used to be a military with me, works a job, I know he's a good guy, he could pass a background check, but personal sales don't need background checks right now in Ohio. So I sell it to him. Now, he keeps it for a couple months, decides it's just doesn't feel right in his hand either. He gives it to his son. Again, perfectly legal. Now they don't even know where that gun's at. Got no conception of where it's at. And there's pretty close to 400 million of them that fall underneath it that they don't know where they're at. So, if he destroys the military, arms the police like this, what the police departments in this country know, like in our town here, small town, 45, 50,000 people. We got 15, 20 police officers. We got sheriff's departments, got 15, 20 people on it. They all know the weapons I have. Now many of them say if shit falls apart and this country goes to hell in a handbasket, they're coming over my house with me because they feel safer over here. Now, people say gun crazy people. Well, Santa Barbara's a good example. One person with a gun could have shot that son of a bitch and ended that long before it was done. And that's about the end of that. So there's my rant for today. So wish you all a very happy Veterans Memorial Day.